Good morning, it's Rachel, and I hope everyone's having an absolutely amazing Wednesday so far. Um, we're going to do a little seated meditation right now. I did a little analogy yesterday on social media about how meditation works, why it's so important. And I like to compare it to our phones. Kind of funny, something that I think we all can relate to, that if all the apps in our background are running constantly, our phone batteries will die out much quicker. And meditation kind of works in the same way. Hey, Edgar, glad you're on. And what happens is if we constantly have things just running in the backs of our minds, hey, Frederica, then we don't ever have this opportunity to slow down and clear things out to create space. So when we're able to clear out those apps on our phone, right, we save our battery, it lasts longer, it has more energy, it's more sustainable. And our brains, our minds work the same way, right? When we stop and meditate, even for like 5 minutes, we are able to recharge our battery, right? Like this battery, which makes us more clear-headed, more energized, and more grounded. So let's get started. Go ahead and close your eyes if it's available to you, or you could just look downward. If you're driving, please don't close your eyes. Sit up nice and tall. And you'll take just a moment to center yourself in your space. And what that looks like is you start to tune into your 5 senses. And right now, the first one that might alert you might be the sound of the waterfall in my background. I intentionally picked this space this morning just because it's so beautiful. And so as you start to tune in to the waterfall, and maybe some sounds in your background too, you can start to heighten your other senses, your sense of touch. So start to feel what you're sitting on. Are you sitting on a chair? Are you sitting on the ground? And start to just notice. Notice how that feels in your body. And then start to notice the temperature against your skin. Is it warm or is it cold? And can you notice it from a place of sensation instead of judgment? Just label it. And then the taste on your tongue. Like, what do you taste? Like right now, I just got the most amazing coffee at Sama. I can still taste it on my tongue. It's really good. And just being aware of it, but being aware like that it's really good, or just my thoughts about it. And these are just things to start to become more aware of. And then what do you see? Right? Like if your eyes are closed, what do you see from within? If your eyes are open, what do you see from without? And as you start to direct your sight inward more, can you start to just check in with the different sensations in your body? Can you start to notice if there's any tightness or tension anywhere in your body? Not from a place of judgment, just from a place of observation. And as you notice that, as you're aware of it, can you just label it? Label the body part. And then notice when you label that body part, does it stimulate a thought, a feeling? And if it does, those are just your thoughts about the body part. And can you then redirect yourself so you can just label the body part without any feeling, without any response or reaction? Like if you say thigh, if I say feel your thigh, and as you feel your thigh, you have thoughts, oh, my thighs are so large, or I wish they were stronger. Can you then make it more scientific? Like, okay, instead of calling it your thigh, maybe you call it your quadricep. Maybe that doesn't give any emotion. So we want to start to take the emotion out and instead just observe. Be the witness of your own body, of your own experience here. And start to notice your breath. So your breath moves in and out in an automatic way. Thank goodness to the automatic nervous system, right? And I don't want you to control it. I want you to just allow it to be organic. And again, can you be in that space where you're just in tune to your breath and not controlling it? And just notice as you hear trucks drive by, or if you hear there's somebody doing some construction, if that distracts you. And instead of it distracting you, can you just say it's part of this experience? So again, you're just observing everything. We're becoming the witness of ourselves and our external experience, all as one, not two separate things. When we can start to do this, then you'll start to become more aware of your thoughts. And when you're aware of your thoughts, you can decide whether you want to keep the thought or release it. But first you have to be aware of them. You have to be in this process and this practice of observing them, allowing them. So I want you to allow any thoughts to come in. I know sometimes people think meditation, they're supposed to stop their thoughts. But in truth, you want to observe your thoughts from a place of non-judgment, from a place of the pure observation of it, right? It's so easy to observe, but then judge, to think about it. I find it to be way more challenging to just observe as a witness without all the thoughts surrounding it. So notice, witness, observe. And if you find yourself getting lost in a thought, like going to the grocery store and actually picking out the oranges, once you catch that without judgment, right? Like, so easy to judge ourselves, but just instead say, oh, I was lost in thought, come back to your physical experience, right? Like, so come back to this moment. Come back to the temperature, come back to what you're touching. Come back to the sounds, to the taste on your tongue, and come back to your breath. So it's this constant flow. The falling out of awareness and falling back into it. And that's the practice. That's how we get stronger. That's how we build our awareness muscle. Take a deep breath in from your nose, hold it, and then exhale, open your mouth and sigh out. And do it again, breathe in, and then exhale, open your mouth, sigh it out. One more time, big breath in, open the mouth. And bring your palms to meet in front of your heart and just rub your palms against each other. Just create some warmth between the palms. And then just place it over your eyes for a moment. And acknowledge yourself for showing up today. For yourself. To empty out the apps, right? To close them out. To create space for yourself. And as we do that for ourselves, then we're able to connect and hold space better for others. It's a really beautiful, magical thing. I thank each of you so much for tuning in this morning with me, joining me in this space. I hope this was helpful. I know it was helpful. I'm not going to say I hope. I know for me, meditation has been a huge factor in changing my life from a person who was on edge all the time to feeling grounded and calm more often than not. I recommend you start with just 5 minutes. 5 minutes a day. Set your phone timer, close your eyes, and observe your own experience. When you find yourself lost in thought, come back to your present moment, come back to your experience, come back to your breath. When you find yourself in a place of judgment, observe it, acknowledge it, and then come back to your breath. This is the practice. It takes time, it takes patience, and it is powerful in ways that sometimes I feel like I can't even describe. I hope you have an absolutely amazing rest of your Wednesday. If you're just tuning in, I will post this video in just a bit so you can still check in and watch it. I always love to hear your feedback, so please don't hesitate to send me a message or just drop a note right now. Let me know your thoughts, how you feel right now, and stay connected. Connection is the key, I believe, to everything in leading a very powerful, intentional life. Have a beautiful Wednesday. Namaste.